Belief 1. The stars as divine messengers. In ancient Mesopotamia, the night sky wasn't just a canvas of light, it was a divine script written by gods to guide humanity. Babylonians believed each starred constellation carried messages about what? Wars, harvests, or the fate of kings. Priests, known as astrologers, spent their lives decoding these celestial signs, charting patterns on clay tablets. A bright star might signal prosperity. A dimming one, disaster. Temples, called ziggurats, were built with platforms for stargazing, where priests stood under the vast sky, feeling the weight of divine whispers. This belief shaped daily life. Farmers planted crops based on stellar alignments, and kings delayed battles if the heavens warned against it. Imagine lying on a rooftop in ancient Babylon, your heart racing as a priest points to a star and declares it a warning. To them, the universe wasn't distant. It was alive, speaking directly to their souls. Even today, when we check our horoscopes or gaze at the stars, don't we feel a flicker of that same awe, wondering if the cosmos still has something to say? Belief 2. The earth as a living goddess. To the ancient Greeks, the earth was Gaia, a living, breathing goddess who birthed all life. Every river, mountain, and forest was part of her body, pulsing with her spirit. Harming the land over hunting or defiling a sacred grove could anger her, bringing floods or barren fields. Farmers offered wine and grain to appease her, while poets sang of her nurturing embrace. Temples to Gaia dotted the landscape, where people prayed for fertile harvests or safe travels. This belief fostered a deep respect for nature, tying human survival to the earth's health. Picture a Greek farmer, hands deep in soil, whispering thanks to Gaia for a bountiful crop. It wasn't just superstition. It was a worldview that saw humanity as part of a living whole. Today, as we fight climate change or mourn a failed forest, don't we echo Gaia's ancient call to honor the earth? Her spirit lingers in our instinct to protect the planet that sustains us. Belief 3. Ancestors watch over you. It's in ancient African cultures, like the Yoruba or West Africa. Death didn't sever family ties. Ancestors became ever-present spirits, guiding and judging the living. Families built shrines in their homes, offering food, palm, wine, or prayers to honor their dead. The belief was that ancestors could bless you with prosperity or curse you with misfortune if you strayed from tradition. Every decision, from marriage to farming, was made with their watchful eyes in mind. Rituals, like the Gungan festivals, brought ancestor spirits into the community through masked dances, blending joy and reverence. Imagine sitting by a shrine, speaking to your grandmother's spirit, feeling her wisdom guide your choices. This belief created a timeless bond, making the past a living part of the present. Don't we still feel it sometimes when we honor a family tradition or sense a loved one's presence in a quiet moment? The ancestors' gaze reminds us we're never truly alone. Belief 4. The sun as a chariot of fire. In ancient Egypt, the sun wasn't just a star, it was Ra, a god riding a fiery chariot across the sky. Each dawn, Ra's journey began, bringing light and order. Me and Maddled, the serpent of chaos, Apep, in the underworld, to ensure the sun rose again. Temples aligned with the solstice honored his path, and priests chanted hymns to strengthen him. This belief wasn't just a story. It gave Egyptians hope, a promise that light would always triumph over darkness. Farmers timed planting by Ra's cycles, and pharaohs claimed his divine favor to rule. Picture a child in ancient Memphis, watching the sunrise, believing Ra fought for their world. The rhythm of his journey shaped their days, their faith. Even now, when we marvel at a sunrise or find comfort in the day's return, don't we carry a piece of Ra's eternal promise? It's a reminder that some truths, light, hope, renewal, never fade. Belief 5. Dreams as portals to the divine. In ancient Greece, dreams were sacred, a bridge to the gods. People believed deities like Morpheus sent visions to guide or warn. Temples called Asclepians were built for dream incubation, where the sick slept, hoping for divine cures. Priests interpreted these dreams, turning symbols into prophecies about love, war, or fate. A farmer might dream of a white bull and be told to sacrifice it for prosperity. This belief made sleep a mystical act, every night a potential revelation. Imagine lying in a temple, the air heavy with incense, trusting your dreams to reveal your destiny. It gave people hope, a sense that the gods were always near. Today, when a dream feels too vivid to dismiss or nudges us toward a decision, don't we wonder if something divine still speaks through our sleep? The ancients' faith in dreams reminds us how deeply we crave connection to something beyond belief. 6. Animals as sacred messengers. In many Native American cultures, animals were sacred emissaries of the spirit world. A hawk soaring above might warn of danger. A deer crossing your path could signal peace. Tribes like the Lakota believed each animal carried a unique message tied to its nature. Wolves taught loyalty. Owls foretold change. Hunters honored slain animals with rituals, thanking their spirits for sustenance. Shamans interpreted animal signs to guide tribal decisions, from migrations to ceremonies. Imagine walking a forest trail, heart pounding, as a coyote stares at you, its gaze heavy with meaning. This belief wove humans into nature's tapestry, making every creature a teacher. Don't we still pause when a bird lands nearby, wondering if it carries a message? In our modern world, where nature feels distant, this ancient view reminds us to listen to the wild, to see its wisdom. Belief 7. The evil eye's curse. Across the ancient Mediterranean, Greece, Rome, and beyond, people feared the evil eye, a malicious glance born of envy that could bring sickness, failure, or death. A stranger's stare at your child or crop might spell doom. To ward it off, people wore amulets like the Nazar, painted protective symbols on homes, or spat to deflect the curse. Mothers whispered charms over newborns, and merchants hid their wealth to avoid jealous eyes. This belief reflected a deep understanding of human nature envy's power to harm. Picture a bustling Greek market where a vendor clutches a blue bead, wary of a rival's gaze. It wasn't just fear, it was a way to navigate social tensions. Today, when we knock on wood or avoid boasting, don't we echo this ancient instinct to shield our luck? The evil eye reminds us how universal our fears of harm and our hope for protection truly are. Belief 8. The sacred power of rivers. Ancient India, rivers like the Ganges were divine, living entities with the power to purify and heal. People bathed in their waters to wash away sins, believing the river goddess Ganga carried their prayers to the heavens. Temples lined riverbanks, and festivals saw thousands immerse themselves, seeking spiritual renewal. A dip in the Ganges could cleanse a lifetime of wrongs or ensure a better rebirth. Fishermen and farmers relied on her bounty, offering flowers or lamps in gratitude. Imagine standing knee-deep in the Ganges at dawn, the current tugging at you, feeling your soul lighten. This belief tied communities to their rivers, making them sacred lifelines. Even now, when we're drawn to flowing water or feel peace by a stream, don't we sense a trace of that ancient reverence? The Ganges' holiness lives on in our quiet awe of nature's flow. Belief 9. The world tree connecting realms. In Norse mythology, the world was held together by Yggdrasil, a cosmic tree linking the heavens, earth, and underworld. Its branches cradled the gods, its roots reached the dead, and its trunk anchored humanity. Vikings believed their lives were tied to Yggdrasil's health, offering gifts at sacred trees to honor it. Shamans journeyed in trances to climb its branches, seeking wisdom from other realms. This belief gave order to a chaotic world, making every tree a symbol of connection. Picture a Viking warrior praying beneath an oak, feeling the universe's pulse in its bark. It wasn't just a myth, it was a map of existence. Today, when we hug a tree or feel grounded in a forest, don't we tap into Yggdrasil's ancient echo? It's a reminder that we're all part of something vast, rooted, yet reaching for the stars. Belief 10. Thunder as the voice of gods. In ancient Slavic cultures, thunder was the roar of Perun, the god of storms and war. Each rumble was his voice, commanding respect or warning of his wrath. Lightning was his axe, striking foes or marking sacred ground. Farmers offered bread or meat to appease him, praying for rain but fearing his anger. Villages built shrines where warriors swore oaths under stormy skies, believing Perun judged their courage. Imagine standing in a Slavic field, rain soaking your clothes as thunder shakes the earth, feeling both fear and awe. This belief made nature a divine conversation, every storm a dialogue with the gods. Don't we still flinch at a thunderclap, half expecting a message in its boom? Perun's voice lingers in our instinct to find meaning in the sky's fury, connecting us to the ancients. Belief 11. Mountains as abodes of gods. In ancient Inca culture, mountains were sacred homes of the gods, known as Apis. Each peak was a living deity, watching over villages and granting fertility or protection. Farmers offered cocoa leaves or llama sacrifices at mountain shrines, seeking blessings for crops or safe travels. The Andes' towering presence shaped Inca life, with cities like Machu Picchu built to honor these divine peaks. Priests climbed treacherous slopes to commune with the Apis, believing their voices carried in the wind. Imagine standing at the base of a mountain, its shadow over you, feeling the god's gaze. This belief tied people to the land, making every step a prayer. Don't we still feel awe hiking a mountain, sensing something sacred in its silence? The Apis remind us why we're drawn to heights, seeking wisdom in their timeless stillness. Belief 12. The spirit in every tree. Ancient Celtic tribes believed every tree housed a spirit, a guardian of nature's wisdom. Were sacred to druids who held rituals in groves, believing trees connected the earthly and spiritual realms. Cutting a sacred tree was a crime, risking the spirit's wrath, disease, or bad luck. People left offerings like ribbons or milk to honor these spirits. Imagine a Celtic warrior pausing in a forest, whispering thanks to a tree for shelter. This belief fostered a bond with nature, seeing life in every branch. Today, when we touch a tree's bark or feel peace in a forest, don't we sense those ancient spirits? The Celts' reverence lives on in our quiet urge to protect the green world around us. Belief 13. The moon as a fertility goddess. In ancient Mesopotamia, the moon was Sin, a god tied to fertility and time. His crescent-shaped women's cycles, and temples hosted rituals to honor him for abundant harvests or healthy births. Farmers watched his phases to plant, while mothers prayed for safe deliveries. Sin's light was a promise of renewal, guiding desert caravans and night markets. Picture a Mesopotamian mother under moonlight, offering barley to Sin for her child's health. This belief made the moon a nurturing force, not just a celestial body. Don't we still feel a pull when the moon glows full, stirring emotions or dreams? Sin's legacy lingers in our fascination with lunar rhythms, tying us to ancient hopes. Belief 14. Fire as a divine purifier. Strianism. Fire was sacred, a manifestation of Ahura Mazda's divine light. Temples housed eternal flames, tended by priests who believed fire purified the soul and banished evil. Worshippers offered sandalwood to keep the flame alive, praying before it for wisdom or forgiveness. Fire wasn't just a tool, it was a bridge to the divine, its warmth a sign of God's presence. Imagine kneeling before a temple flame, its heat on your face, feeling cleansed. This belief shaped daily rituals, from cooking to ceremonies, making fire a constant companion. Today, when we light a candle for peace or stare into a campfire, don't we feel that ancient purity? Fire's sacred glow still warms our souls. Belief. 15. The underworld as a living realm. Ancient Greeks saw the underworld not as a lifeless void, but a bustling realm ruled by Hades. Souls crossed the river Styx, arid by Charon, to face judgment. The virtuous lived in Elysium. Others wandered shadowy fields. Families left offerings at graves to comfort the dead, believing they could influence the living. Imagine a Greek mourner pouring wine on a tomb, whispering to a loved one's shade. This belief made death a continuation, not an end, shaping rituals and stories. Don't we still speak to the departed, or feel their presence in quiet moments? Hades' realm echoes in our need to honor those who've passed, keeping them close. Belief. 16. The wind as a spirit's breath. In ancient Chinese Taoism, the wind was the breath of spirits, carrying messages or omens. A gentle breeze might signal harmony. A storm, divine displeasure. People built wind chimes to capture these voices, believing they guided decisions or warned of change. Farmers read the wind's direction for planting, while poets saw it as nature's song. Imagine standing on a hillside, feeling the wind, sensing a spirit's whisper. This belief tied humans to the invisible forces around them, making every gust sacred. Don't we still pause when the wind howls, half expecting a message? The Taoist wind reminds us to listen to the world's unseen rhythms. Belief. 17. The power of sacred springs. In ancient Roman culture, springs were divine, home to nymphs who granted healing or prophecy. Temples, like those to Sulis at Bath, were built around springs, where people bathed or drank for cures. Offerings, coins, jewelry were tossed in to please the nymphs. A sick Roman might travel miles to a spring, believing its waters held life. Imagine dipping your hands in cool water, praying for health, feeling the nymph's touch. This belief made springs sacred hubs, blending faith and medicine. Today, when we visit a hot spring or toss a coin in a fountain, don't we echo that ancient hope? The nymph's waters still call to our desire for renewal. Belief. 18. The sky as a cosmic tent. In ancient Mongolian shamanism, the sky was Tingri, a divine canopy sheltering the world. Shamans climbed mountains to pray to Tingri, believing he governed fate and weather. Herders offered milk or mare's blood, seeking his favor for safe travels or strong herds. The sky's vastness was a reminder of Tingri's power, every cloud his will. Picture a nomad gazing at the endless steppe sky, feeling Tingri's protection. This belief gave order to a nomadic life, tying it to the heavens. Don't we still look up in awe at a starry night, feeling small yet connected? Tingri's tent still stretches over our dreams of something greater. Belief. 19. The sacredness of twins. In ancient Yoruba culture, twins were divine, blessed by the gods with special powers. They were seen as two souls sharing one destiny, capable of bringing luck or calamity. Parents honored them with festivals, believing their happiness ensured community prosperity. Twins had unique names, like Taiwo and Kihind, reflecting their sacred bond. Imagine a Yoruba village celebrating twins, their laughter a divine gift. This belief made twins revered, not ordinary, shaping family and social life. Don't we still marvel at twins' connection, sensing something mystical? The Yoruba's reverence reminds us how deeply we seek meaning in life's miracles. Belief. 20. The sea as a divine mother. In ancient Polynesian cultures, the sea was Mona, a mother goddess who nurtured and challenged humanity. Islanders offered fish or shells to her, seeking safe voyages or bountiful catches. Navigators read her waves like a map, believing she guided them to new lands. The sea wasn't just water, it was alive, her moods shaping life. Imagine a Polynesian sailor whispering to Mona before a journey, trusting her waves. Its belief tied communities to the ocean, making it home and deity. Don't we still feel the sea's pull, its vastness stirring awe? Mona's embrace lives in our love for the ocean's endless mystery. Belief 21. Stones as living spirits. In ancient Shinto practices of Japan, stones were believed to house kami, divine spirits that animated the natural world. Massive rocks or smooth pebbles were revered as sacred, often wrapped with rice straw. Ropes to mark their holiness. Shrines like eyes honored these stones, where priests offered sake or prayers to appease the kami for prosperity or protection. A farmer might bow to a stone in his field, believing its spirit ensured a good harvest. These stones weren't mere objects, they were alive, holding stories of creation or ancestral wisdom. Imagine touching a cool, ancient rock, feeling its kami pulse under your fingers, connecting you to the divine. This belief shaped Japan's landscape, with sacred stones dotting forests and rivers, reminding people of nature's spirit. Don't we still feel a strange reverence when we find a perfectly shaped stone, as if it holds a secret? The kami in stones echo in our quiet awe of nature's enduring presence. Belief 22. The sun as a divine eye. In ancient Persian culture, the sun was the eye of Mithra, the god of truth and justice. His gaze pierced the world, watching every deed, rewarding the righteous and punishing the wicked. Temples faced east to greet his rising, and warriors swore oaths under his light, believing he saw their honor. Farmers offered fruits to Mithra, trusting his warmth to ripen crops. The sun's daily arc was a reminder of his unblinking vigilance, guiding moral lives. Picture a Persian merchant in a bustling bazaar, glancing at the sun, feeling Mithra's judgment on a deal. This belief wove ethics into daily life, making every action sacred. Today, when we squint at the sun or feel its warmth, don't we sense a watchful presence? Mithra's eye still lingers in our instinct to seek light in both nature and truth. Belief 23. The power of sacred dances. Kina in ancient Hawaiian culture, hula was more than dance, it was a sacred ritual channeling divine energy. Dancers performed precise movements to honor gods like Laka, believing their steps invoked blessings for fertility, victory, or peace. Each gesture told a story of creation, heroes, or nature's rhythms, taught by kahuna, priests in sacred groves. Communities gathered to watch, feeling the god's presence in the sway of hips and hands. Imagine a dancer under torchlight, her movements calling rain or healing, the air alive with chants. This belief made hula a bridge to the divine, uniting people and spirits. Don't we still feel a pull watching a powerful dance, as if it stirs something deeper? Hula's sacred steps remind us how movement can connect us to the unseen, going across time. Belief 24. The soul's journey after death. Ancient Egyptians believed the soul faced a perilous journey after death to reach the afterlife. The heart was weighed against Mat's feather of truth. Balanced, the soul entered the field of reeds, a paradise of eternal peace. Tombs were filled with spells, amulets, and goods to aid this journey, as the dead faced trials like demonic gates or a devouring monster. Families recited prayers to guide their loved ones. Imagine an Egyptian scribe preparing his tomb, hoping his heart was light enough for eternity. This belief shaped their lives, urging virtue to ensure a good afterlife. Don't we still wonder about the soul's path after death, seeking comfort in rituals? Mat's feather lingers in our hope for a just reckoning beyond this world. Belief 25. The sacredness of caves. In ancient Mayan culture, caves were portals to Shibaba, the underworld, where gods and ancestors dwelt. Shamans entered caves to commune with these spirits, offering blood or maize to seek wisdom or rain. Caves like those at Chichen Itza were sites of sacrifice, believed to connect the living to divine forces. A farmer might leave an offering at a cave's mouth, trusting it reached the gods. Imagine descending into a dark cave, torch flickering, feeling the underworld's breath. This belief made caves sacred thresholds, tying Mayans to their cosmology. Don't we still feel a chill in caves, sensing something ancient and alive? Kapaba's echo calls us to respect the earth's hidden depths. Belief 26. The divine power of names. In ancient Hebrew traditions, names held divine power, reflecting a person's essence or destiny. God's name, Yahweh, was so sacred it was rarely spoken, replaced with titles like Adonai. Parents chose names like David, beloved, to shape a child's fate. Believing words carried spiritual weight. Scribes wrote names with care, fearing misuse could invite curses. Imagine a Hebrew elder whispering a child's name at a naming ceremony, believing it bound their soul to God. This belief made language sacred, shaping identity and faith. Don't we still choose names carefully, hoping they carry strength or love? The power of names endures in our desire to define who we are. Belief 27. The raven as a messenger of fate. In ancient Norse culture, ravens were Odin's messengers, carrying news of the world or omens of fate. His ravens, Hug in thought and Muni in memory, flew across realms, whispering secrets to the Allfather. Warriors watched ravens on battlefields, believing their flight predicted victory or death. Farmers offered grain to ravens, seeking Odin's favor. Imagine a Viking watching a raven circle, heart pounding, wondering if it bore Odin's will. This belief made ravens sacred, linking humans to divine insight. Don't we still pause when a raven caws, feeling a shiver of mystery? Odin's birds still speak to our sense of the unknown. Belief 28. The sacredness of salt. In ancient Sumerian culture, salt was a divine gift, used to purify and protect. Priests sprinkled salt in rituals to ward off evil spirits or cleanse sacred spaces. Traders valued it as currency, and families used it to preserve food, believing it held divine essence. Temples stored salt for offerings, seeing it as a bridge to the gods. Imagine a Sumerian priest scattering salt around an altar, the air heavy with sanctity. This belief made salt more than a seasoned, it was life's protector. Don't we still toss salt over our shoulder for luck, echoing ancient rites? Sumer's sacred salt lingers in our small gestures of faith. Belief 29. The stars as ancestral souls. In ancient Aboriginal Australian cultures, the stars were the campfires of ancestral spirits, watching over the living. The Milky Way was a river of souls, guiding dreamtime stories that explained creation. Elders taught children to read the stars for navigation or to honor ancestors with songs. Families believed their dead joined the sky, forever part of the cosmos. Imagine lying under a vast outback sky, seeing your grandmother's spirit in the star's glow. This belief wove kinship with the universe, making every night a family reunion. Don't we still look up, feeling connected to those we've lost? The dreamtime stars shine in our longing for eternal bonds. Belief 30. The divine harmony of music. In ancient Greek culture, music was a gift from Apollo, the god of harmony and prophecy. Lyres and flutes were played in temples to invoke divine favor, believed to align the soul with the cosmos. Philosophers like Pythagoras saw music's ratios as the universe's order, healing minds and bodies. Festivals featured songs to honor gods, uniting communities in sacred sound. Imagine a Greek poet strumming a lyre, feeling Apollo's presence in each note. This belief made music a divine language, shaping worship and thought. Don't we still feel lifted by a song, as if it touches something eternal? Apollo's chords resonate in our love for music's power. Belief 31. The sacred flame of the hearth. In ancient Roman culture, the hearth was the domain of Vesta, goddess of home and family. Eternal flame burned in every household in the temple of Vesta in Rome. This fire was more than warmth. It was the heart of the family, a divine presence ensuring unity and protection. Vestal virgins, priestesses sworn to chastity, tended the temple's flame. Believing its extinction would bring calamity to Rome, families lit their hearths daily, offering wine or grain to Vesta, whispering prayers for health and harmony. A flickering flame meant her favor, a dying one, her displeasure. Imagine a Roman mother kneeling by her hearth, the fire's glow on her face, teaching her children to honor Vesta's warmth. This belief bound communities, making every home a sacred space, every meal a ritual. The hearth was the family's anchor, a constant reminder of divine care in daily life. Farmers aligned planting with hearth rituals, trusting Vesta to bless their fields. Even emperors sought her favor, for her flame symbolized Rome's endurance. Don't we still gather around a fire, feeling its comfort, sensing a connection to those ancient hearths? When we light a candle during a storm, or share a meal by a fireplace, Vesta's warmth lingers, whispering of home's timeless sanctity. Belief 32. The sky serpent of creation. In ancient Aztec culture, the feathered serpent god, Quetzalcoatl, was believed to have shaped the world, his sinuous body weaving the sky and earth together. Temples in Teotihuacan rose to honor him, their steps aligned with the stars he governed. Priests offered flowers, feathers, or blood to appease him, believing he brought rain, maize, and knowledge. His myth told of him sacrificing himself to create humanity, his breath giving life to the first people. Farmers watched the skies for signs of his return, especially during eclipses, which they saw as his cosmic dance. Imagine an Aztec priest atop a pyramid, heart pounding as clouds parted, feeling Quetzalcoatl's presence in the wind. This belief inspired art, calendars, and sacrifices, tying every breath to the divine serpent. Children learned his stories, seeing his feathered form in the Milky Way. The Aztec's world was alive with his energy. Every sunrise, a gift from his journey. Don't we still gaze at the sky during an eclipse, feeling a shiver of something ancient? Quetzalcoatl's coils remind us how myths can shape a civilization's soul. Echoing in our wonder at the cosmos. Belief 33. The sacredness of crossroads. In ancient Yoruba culture, crossroads were sacred, ruled by Eshu, the trickster god of fate and communication. These intersections were thresholds between worlds, where humans, spirits, and gods met. Travelers left offerings, palm oil, yams, or coins at crossroads to gain Eshu's favor for safe journeys or wise decisions. A misstep could anger him, bringing confusion or misfortune. Markets often formed at crossroads, buzzing with trade and rituals, as people believed Eshu blessed deals made in his presence. Imagine a Yoruba merchant pausing at a dusty crossroad, pouring oil into the earth, praying for a prosperous day. This belief made every journey spiritual, every choice a dialogue with the divine. Kays consulted Eshu through divination, reading cowrie shells to interpret his will. The crossroads weren't just paths, they were sacred spaces where destinies intertwined. Tony still feel a pause at a crossroad, weighing our choices as if something watches. Eshu's presence lingers in our moments of decision, reminding U.S. life's paths are never just physical. Belief 34. The divine voice in thunder. In ancient Vedic India, thunder was the voice of Indra, the warrior god of storms and rain. His thunderbolts, wielded from a chariot drawn by white horses, struck down demons and brought life-giving rains. Villages offered ghee or soma to Indra's altars, praying for monsoons, to nourish crops. His roars were a call to courage, inspiring warriors before battle. Temples echoed with hymns from the Rig Veda, praising his might, while farmers scanned the skies for his stormy blessings. Imagine a Vedic farmer standing in a field, rain-soaked, hearing Indra's thunder as a promise of abundance. This belief tied the cycle of seasons to divine will, making every storm a sacred event. Mothers told children tales of Indra's battles, teaching them to face fears with his strength. The sound of thunder wasn't just whether it was a god, speaking, shaping lives and landscapes. Don't we still jump at a thunderclap, feeling its raw power stir something primal? Indra's voice echoes in our awe of nature's fury, connecting us to ancient reverence. Belief 35. The moon as a keeper of secrets. In ancient Celtic culture, the moon was a mystical keeper of secrets, linked to the goddess Saradwan, who stirred a cauldron of wisdom under its light. Druids watched its phases 2-time rituals, believing it revealed hidden truths during full moons. Bards sang of its magic, claiming dreams under its glow held prophecies. Farmers planted by its waxing, trusting Saradwan's light to nurture crops, while healers gathered herbs at night, believing the moon amplified their potency. Imagine a Celtic druid in a moonlit grove, chanting to Saradwan, seeking visions in the silver light. This belief made the moon a guide, its cycles a map for life's mysteries. Women especially revered her, tying their cycles to her rhythm, seeing her as a mother of intuition. The moon's phases shaped festivals from Samhain to Beltane, weaving magic into the Celtic year. Don't we still feel a pull under a full moon, as if it whispers secrets to our soul? Saradwan's light lingers in our dreams, stirring ancient wonder. Belief 36. The sacredness of mirrors. In ancient Chinese culture, mirrors were portals to the spirit world, reflecting both truth and the unseen. Made of polished bronze, they were buried with the dead to guide souls, or hung in homes to ward off evil spirits. Taoists believed mirrors could trap malevolent forces, their reflective surfaces confusing ghosts. Emperors used them in rituals, believing they revealed divine truths or omens. A bride might gaze into a mirror, seeking blessings for her future. Imagine a Chinese scholar holding a bronze mirror, its surface cloudy with age, feeling spirits on the other side. This belief made mirrors sacred tools, not mere objects, shaping burial practices in daily life. Artisans carved them with dragons or phoenixes, symbols of cosmic balance. The act of looking into a mirror was a moment of connection, a glimpse into eternity. Don't we still pause before a mirror, half expecting it to show more than our reflection? The ancient Chinese mirror reminds us how deeply we seek truth in what we see. Belief 37. The divine power of knots. In ancient Inca culture, knots were sacred, used in quipus ropes with intricate knots to record stories, taxes, or prayers. Each knot, tied with intent, was believed to hold spiritual energy, connecting the physical and divine. Shamans tied knots to bind blessings or curses, believing their patterns spoke to the gods. Weavers wove knots into textiles, each loop a prayer for protection or fertility. God, imagine an Inca elder tying a quipu, her fingers weaving history, filling the gods. Approval in each twist. This belief made knots a language of the divine, a way to store and share sacred knowledge. Communities relied on quipu keepers to interpret these cords, guiding decisions from harvests to wars. The act of knotting was a ritual, a moment of creation. Don't we still tie a knot for luck or memory, sensing its quiet power? The Inca's knots tie us to an ancient art of meaning, woven into life's fabric. Belief 38. The stars as a cosmic map. In ancient Polynesian culture, the stars were a divine map, guiding navigators across vast oceans. Wayfinders memorized star paths, believing gods like Maui placed them to lead voyagers to new islands. Each constellation told a story of heroes, fish, or creation passed down through chance. Sailors offered prayers to the stars before voyages, trusting their light to guide canoes. Imagine a Polynesian navigator at night, steering by a star's glow, feeling Maui's hand on the tiller. Disbelief made the sky a sacred guidebook, shaping exploration and survival. Families taught children to read the stars, ensuring their culture's journeys endured. The stars weren't just lights, they were ancestors, gods, and destiny. Don't we still navigate by stars, whether in dreams or on a dark road, seeking direction? Tesia's starry map shines in our longing for guidance, a celestial path through life. Belief 39. The sacredness of bees. In ancient Greek culture, bees were divine messengers of the muses, carrying inspiration from the gods. Their honey was nectar, a gift of wisdom and healing, used in rituals to honor Artemis or Apollo. Beekeepers tended hives with reverence, believing bees danced to divine rhythms. Temples kept hives, their hum a sacred song, and priestesses, called Melisi bees, served the gods. Imagine a Greek poet sipping honeyed wine, feeling the muses whisper in its sweetness. This belief made bees symbols of creativity. Their hives, a microcosm of divine order. Farmers saw their pollination as a blessing, tying human survival to their work. Bees, delicate dance-shaped myths in medicine, a testament to nature's divinity. Don't we still marvel at a bee's hum, sensing its quiet magic? The muses' bees buzz in our awe of nature's small miracles. Belief 40. The earth as a cosmic turtle. In ancient Hindu and Native American cultures, the earth was carried on the back of a giant turtle, a divine creature balancing the world. In Hindu myth, Kurma, Vishnu's turtle avatar, supported Mount Mandara during the churning of the cosmic ocean, creating life's elixir. Tribes like the Lenape saw the turtle as a mother, her shell the land, her movements causing quakes. Offerings of tobacco or shells honored her strength. Imagine a Hindu sage meditating by a river, envisioning Kurma's steady shell beneath him. This belief grounded people, making the earth a living protector, its stability a divine gift. Rituals tied communities to her rhythm, from planting to storytelling. Don't we still feel the earth's solidity, as if something ancient holds us? Karma's turtle carries our trust in the world's enduring strength. Belief 41. The sacred power of rainbows. In ancient Aboriginal Australian cultures, the rainbow was the serpent of creation, known as the rainbow serpent, a divine being who shaped rivers, mountains, and life itself during the dream time. Its shimmering arc was a bridge between earth and the spirit world, guiding souls or signaling divine presence. Communities offered songs or ochre at sacred sites, believing the serpent brought rain to nourish the land. Elders told stories of its coils, carving waterways, teaching respect for nature's balance. Imagine an Aboriginal hunter pausing under a rainbow, its colors vivid against the outback sky, feeling the serpent's ancient power. This belief wove the landscape into a living myth, making every waterhole a testament to the serpent's journey. Families gathered to honor it during rains, sing its arc as a promise of renewal. The serpent wasn't just a story, it was the pulse of the land, tying people to their origins. Don't we still stop in awe at a rainbow, its fleeting beauty stirring something deep? The rainbow serpent's colors echo in our wonder at nature's fleeting miracles, connecting us to a timeless creation story. Belief 42. The divine breath. In ancient Egyptian culture, breath was the gift of Shu, the god of air and life, who separated earth and sky to create the world. Every inhale was his divine essence, sustaining body and soul. Priests chanted hymns to Shu in temples, believing breath carried prayers to the gods. Healers used breathing rituals to cleanse ailments, seeing each exhale as a release of chaos. Imagine an Egyptian artisan pausing mid-work, feeling Shu's breath in her lungs, a reminder of divine presence. This belief made every moment of life sacred, tying existence to the air itself. Mothers taught children to breathe deeply during rituals, aligning with Shu's rhythm. Temples were built with open courtyards to capture his breezes, making worship a communion with the wind. Even daily tasks, like fanning a fire, were acts of reverence. Don't we still feel alive with a deep breath, as if drawing in something sacred? Shu's breath lingers in our quiet moments, reminding us life is a divine gift. Belief 43. The sacredness of footprints. In ancient Buddhist traditions, footprints of the Buddha were sacred symbols, etched in stone to mark his spiritual presence. These prints, adorned with symbols like lotus flowers or wheels, were believed to carry his enlightenment, guiding followers toward nirvana. Pilgrims traveled to shrines like those in Sri Lanka, touching the stone prints, praying for wisdom or peace. Monks meditated beside them, believing the footprints held the Buddha's compassion. Imagine a pilgrim kneeling before a carved footprint, its worn surface warm under their hands, feeling closer to enlightenment. This belief made the earth a canvas of divinity, every step a reminder of the Buddha's path. Villages built stupas around these prints, turning them into sacred sites where communities gathered to chant and offer flowers. The footprints weren't just relics, they were a map to transcendence. Don't we still trace the steps of those we admire, seeking their wisdom? The Buddha's footprints echo in our longing to follow a meaningful path. Belief 44. The stars as divine warriors. In ancient Babylonian culture, the stars were warriors of Marduk, the chief god who defeated chaos to create order. Each constellation was a soldier in his celestial army, guarding the cosmos and guiding earthly fates. Priests and ziggurats studied their movements, believing they foretold victories or disasters. Temples offered incense to Marduk, trusting his starry host protected the city. Imagine a Babylonian scribe gazing at the night sky, tracing Orion as Marduk's spear, feeling safe under his watch. This belief shaped laws and battles, with kings consulting star charts before wars. Farmers planted by stellar alignments, seeing the stars as protectors of their crops. The sky was a battlefield, its twinkling lights a divine army. Children learned myths of Marduk's triumphs, seeing their lives mirrored in the heavens. Don't we still look up at the stars, feeling their quiet strength? Marduk's warriors shine in our sense of awe, guarding our dreams of order in a chaotic world. Belief 45. The sacredness of shadows. In ancient Polynesia culture, shadows were the realm of spirits, a liminal space where the divine and human met. Shadow puppet plays, or wayang kulit, were sacred rituals, believed to channel God's stories through flickering light. Priests blessed the puppets, made of leather, to invite divine presence, while audiences saw the shadows as living spirits. Villages gathered under banyan trees to watch, believing the tales balanced good and evil. Imagine a Balinese child, eyes wide, watching shadows dance on a screen, feeling God's whisper through the dark. This belief made shadows sacred, turning night into a stage for divine narratives. Puppeteers were revered as shamans, their hands guiding cosmic truths. The interplay of light and dark mirrored life's dualities, teaching harmony. Don't we still feel a chill in a shadow's edge, as if it holds a secret? Spali's sacred shadows linger in our fascination with light's dance, revealing hidden truths. Belief 46. The divine power of tattoos. In ancient Polynesian cultures, tattoos were sacred marks of divine protection and identity. Each design, etched with bone or shell, was a prayer to gods like Tul, linking the wearer to ancestors or spiritual guardians. Chiefs bore intricate patterns to show their rank, while warriors tattooed symbols for strength in battle. Tattoo artists, seen as priests, chanted during the painful process, believing the ink bound the soul to the divine. Imagine a Polynesian warrior enduring the needle sting, his skin a canvas of God's blessings. This belief made the body a sacred text, telling stories of lineage and faith. Communities celebrated tattoo ceremonies, uniting through shared pain and pride. Tattoos weren't mere art, they were a covenant with the divine. Don't we still ink our skin to mark our stories, seeking meaning in each line? Polynesia's tattoos echo in our desire to carry our truths visibly. Belief 47. The sacredness of bells. In ancient Tibetan Buddhist culture, bells were divine voices, their chimes clearing negative energies and calling deities. Monks rang them during rituals, believing the sound purified the air and guided meditations toward enlightenment. Bell, paired with a vajra, symbolized wisdom and compassion, their ring a cosmic harmony. Pilgrims carried small bells, ringing them at shrines to offer prayers. Imagine a monk in a Himalayan temple, the bells chime, echoing through icy air, feeling closer to nirvana. This belief made sound a sacred force, shaping monastic life and pilgrimages. Villages used bells to mark time or warn of danger, tying daily rhythms to the divine. The bell's vibration was a reminder of impermanence, urging mindfulness. Don't we still pause at a bell's ring? Its sound, stirring, calm. Tibet's sacred bells resonate in our love for sounds that center the soul. Belief 48. The moon as a divine weaver. In ancient Andean cultures, the moon was Mama Quilla, a goddess who wove the fabric of time with her silver light. Her phases marked festivals and planting cycles, her glow a thread binding human and divine. Priests in Cusco's temples offered gold or textiles to her, believing she protected women and crops. Weavers saw her light as inspiration, crafting patterns that echoed her cycles. Imagine an Andean woman weaving under moonlight, her hands guided by Mama Quilla's glow, each thread a prayer. This belief made the moon a creator, her rhythms shaping agriculture and art. Families honored her during lunar eclipses, fearing her absence signaled chaos. Her return was a promise of order. Don't we still feel time shift under a moon's glow, its phases marking our lives? Mama Quilla's loom weaves through our sense of time's gentle flow. Belief 49. The sacredness of caves as wombs. In ancient Greek culture, caves were wombs of the earth, sacred to goddesses like Demeter and Persephone. They were portals to the underworld and sources of rebirth, where oracles like the Pythia at Delphi channeled divine prophecies. Pilgrims entered caves to seek visions, offering honey or barley to the goddesses. Imagine a Greek seeker in a dark cave, torchlight flickering, hearing whispers of divine wisdom. This belief made caves places of transformation, where mortals touched eternity. Farmers prayed in caves for fertile fields, believing Demeter's spirit flowed from them. The cave's darkness was a return to creation's source, a place of renewal. Don't we still feel a cave's mystery, its cool air heavy with secrets? Greece's sacred wombs echo in our awe of Earth's hidden spaces. Belief 50. The divine power of masks. In ancient African Dogon culture, masks were vessels for divine spirits, worn in dances to connect with ancestors and gods. Each mask, carved from wood with intricate designs, channeled specific spirits during Kai ceremonies like the Dhamma, guiding souls to the afterlife. Dancers became divine conduits, their movements invoking rain or harmony. Imagine a Dogon dancer, mask heavy on his face, feeling an ancestor spirit guide his steps under starlight. This belief made masks sacred, transforming wearers into gods. Villages crafted them with care, believing their beauty pleased the divine. The dances united communities, blending human and spirit worlds. Don't we still wear masks, literal or not, to embody something greater? The Dogon's masks live in our rituals of transformation. Seeking the divine within. Belief 51. The sacredness of the hearth fire. In ancient Slavic culture, the hearth fire was a divine entity, guarded by the goddess Domovoi, who protected the home and its inhabitants. This fire, never allowed to die, was the soul of the household, ensuring warmth, safety, and familial unity. Families offered bread or milk to the hearth, whispering thanks to Domovoi for her blessings. If neglected, she might cause mischief, spilled pots, or strange noises. Imagine a Slavic mother tending the fire at dawn, its crackle a comforting presence, teaching her children to honor Domovoi's glow. This belief made the hearth the center of life, where stories were told, meals shared, and ancestors remembered. Villages aligned rituals with the fire's rhythm, believing its light warded off evil spirits. Farmers carried embers to new homes, ensuring Domovoi's protection followed. The hearth wasn't just a fire, it was a sacred bond, tying generations to the divine. Don't we still gather around a fireplace, feeling its warmth stir memories of home? Domovoi's flame lingers in our love for cozy, shared spaces, a spark of ancient comfort. Belief 52. The sky as a divine river. In ancient Egyptian mythology, the sky was Nut, a goddess whose starry body arched over the earth as a cosmic river. Each night, she swallowed the sun god Ra, birthing him at dawn, her cycle ensuring the world's renewal. Priests in temples like Karnak offered lotus flowers to Nut, praying for her protection over the dead and living. Sailors navigated the Nile under her stars, believing she guided their paths. Imagine an Egyptian fisherman gazing at the Milky Way, seeing Nut's flowing waters, feeling her embrace. Its belief shaped calendars and burials, with tombs painted with her starry form to guide souls. Mothers told children Nut's story, teaching them life's cycles mirrored her sky. The river of stars was a promise of eternity, linking earth to the divine. Don't we still look up at a starry night, feeling swept into something vast? Nut's river flows in our awe of the cosmos, a celestial current carrying ancient dreams. Belief 53. The sacredness of feathers. In ancient Native American Lakota culture, feathers were sacred gifts from the sky spirits, symbols of honor and connection to the divine. Eagle feathers, especially, were revered, believed to carry prayers to awaken Tonka, the Great Spirit. Warriors wore them in ceremonies, earning each through acts of courage. Shamans used feathers in healing rituals, fanning smoke to cleanse ailments. Imagine a Lakota elder presenting a feather to a young warrior, its soft weight heavy with meaning, a bond to the heavens. This belief made feathers more than adornments. They were spiritual conduits, tying humans to the sky's wisdom. Tribes held dances to honor the eagle, its flight a symbol of freedom and vision, reminding families of divine protection. Don't we still pause at a feather on the ground, sensing its quiet significance? The Lakota's sacred feathers flutter in our instinct to find meaning in nature's gifts. Belief 54. The divine power of the sun's shadow. In ancient Mayan culture, the sun's shadow was a divine message cast by gods like Kinish-Aha to reveal cosmic truths. Pyramids like Chichen Itza were built to capture shadows, especially during equinoxes, when a serpent's silhouette slithered down El Castillo's steps, signaling Kukulkan's presence. Priests studied these shadows, believing they guided planting or rituals. Imagine a Mayan farmer watching the serpent shadow, heart racing, knowing the gods spoke through light and dark. This belief shaped architecture and agriculture, with cities aligned to solar paths. Families offered maize at shadow-casting ceremonies, trusting the gods' favor. The interplay of light and shadow was a divine dance, revealing the universe's rhythm. Children learned to read shadows, seeing them as sacred texts. Don't we still watch a shadow's edge, feeling time shift in its movement? Kukulkans. Shadows linger in our fascination with light's silent stories. Belief 55. The sacredness of salt springs. In ancient Celtic culture, salt springs were sacred, guarded by the goddess Bridget, who blessed them with healing and purity. Druids performed rituals at these springs, offering milk or poetry to Bridget, believing her waters cleansed body and soul. Warriors bathed in them before battle, seeking strength, while healers used the salt for remedies. Imagine a Celtic maiden, dipping her hands in a bubbling spring, feeling Bridget's warmth, praying for her family's health. This belief made springs pilgrimage sites where communities gathered to honor the goddess. Salt was a treasure, traded and revered, its crystals a divine gift. Villages built shrines by springs, their waters a mirror of Bridget's light. Don't we still seek healing in natural springs, feeling their ancient power? Bridget's salt. Springs flow in our desire for purification, a ripple of sacred waters. Belief 56. The divine voice of oracles. In ancient Greek culture, oracles were divine voices, channeling gods like Apollo through priestesses like the Pythia at Delphi. Pilgrims journeyed to her temple, offering gold or laurel, seeking answers about love, war, or fate. The Pythia inhaled sacred vapors, her cryptic words believed to be Apollo's will. Imagine a Greek merchant kneeling in Delphi's smoky chamber, trembling as the Pythia's voice echoes, guiding his trade. This belief made oracles the heart of decision-making, shaping cities and lives. Kings delayed wars based on her words, and farmers sought her blessing for harvests. The oracle's trance was a bridge to the divine, her words a map for the uncertain. Don't we still seek guidance in uncertain times, hoping for a voice of clarity? The Pythia's whispers echo in our search for wisdom beyond our own belief. 57. The sacredness of the oak tree. In ancient Germanic tribes, the oak was Thor's tree, a sacred pillar connecting earth to Asgard. Its strength symbolized divine protection, and tribes held councils under its branches, believing Thor's presence ensured just decisions. Offerings of mead or iron were hung on oaks, seeking his favor against storms. Imagine a Germanic warrior praying beneath a towering oak, its leaves rustling with Thor's might, feeling invincible. This belief made oaks sacred groves, where rituals marked births, marriages, and deaths. Druids carved runes into their bark, believing the tree held divine wisdom. The oak's roots were the tribe's roots, grounding their faith. Don't we still feel awe under a mighty tree? Its strength, timeless. Thor's oak stands in our reverence for nature's enduring giants. Belief 58. The divine power of drums. In ancient Siberian shamanic cultures, drums were sacred tools, their beats the heartbeat of the spirit world. Shamans played them to enter trances, believing the rhythm carried their souls to divine realms. Each drum, made from reindeer hide, was blessed with rituals, its sound summoning ancestors or gods. Imagine a shaman beating a drum by a fire, its pulse echoing in the tundra, guiding her to the spirit world. This belief made drums sacred, used in healings, divinations, and rites. Communities gathered around their beat, feeling the cosmos aligned. The drum's rhythm was a language, speaking to the unseen. Don't we still feel a drum's pulse stir our souls, moving us to dance? Siberia's sacred drums beat in our love for rhythm's primal call. Belief 59. The stars as divine ancestors. In ancient Inca culture, the stars were ancestors, their light, the souls of the dead, watching over the living. The Milky Way, called Mayu, was a celestial river where ancestors dwelled, guiding descendants. Priests observed stars from mountaintop observatories, offering coca leaves to honor them. Imagine an Inca weaver under a starry sky, seeing her grandfather's soul in a twinkling light, feeling his guidance. This belief shaped kinship, with families praying to stars during festivals. Farmers aligned planting with stellar patterns, trusting ancestral wisdom. The stars were a family, their light a constant presence. Don't we still look up, feeling loved ones in the night sky? The Inca's starry ancestors shine in our longing for connection beyond death. Belief 60. The sacredness of the horizon. In ancient Polynesian culture, the horizon was a sacred boundary where sea and sky met, guarded by gods like Tangaroa. Navigators saw it as a divine threshold, guiding canoes to new lands. Offerings of fish or shells were cast into the sea, seeking safe passage. Imagine a Polynesian sailor staring at the horizon, its line of promise of divine guidance, trusting Tangaroa's path. This belief shaped exploration, with horizon lines etched into chants and maps. Families gathered at shores to pray, seeing the horizon as a gateway to the gods. It wasn't just a view, it was a sacred journey's end. Don't we still gaze at the horizon, feeling it calls us forward? Tangaroa's line draws us to new beginnings, an ancient pool to explore. Belief 61. The sacredness of the hearthstone. In ancient Irish Celtic culture, the hearthstone was a sacred anchor. It's blessed by Bridget, goddess of fire, poetry, and healing. This stone, often the center of the home, was believed to hold the family spirit, connecting them to ancestors and the divine. Families carved symbols like spirals or crosses into it, offering milk or herbs to ensure Bridget's protection. A cracked hearthstone was an ill omen, signaling discord or misfortune. Imagine an Irish mother sweeping around the hearthstone, teaching her children to honor Bridget's warmth, feeling her presence in the stone's solidity. This belief made the hearthstone a sacred heart, where stories were shared and rituals performed. Villagers gathered at communal hearths for festivals, believing Bridget blessed their unity. Farmers touched the stone before planting, trusting its strength to nurture crops. The hearthstone wasn't just rock, it was a covenant with the divine, grounding every home. Don't we still cherish a home's foundation, feeling its stability as sacred? Bridget's hearthstone lingers in our love for places that feel like home, eternal and warm. Belief 62. The divine power of the North Star. In ancient Chinese culture, the North Star was Taiyi, the celestial emperor, anchoring the heavens and guiding earthly order. Emperors aligned their palaces with its light, believing it reflected divine authority. Scholars studied its position to predict harvests or wars, while families prayed to it for stability. Temples burned incense to honor Taiyi, seeing his star as a beacon of cosmic harmony. Imagine a Chinese farmer gazing at the North Star, its steady glow, a promise of balance, guiding his plow. This belief shaped architecture, calendars, and governance, with the Forbidden City designed around its axis. Mothers taught children to find Taiyi's star, a constant in a changing world. The North Star was a divine compass, its light a map for life's uncertainties. Don't we still look to the North Star for direction? Its fixed point, calming our wanderings. Taiyi's star shines in our need for something unchanging in a shifting world. Belief 63. The sacredness of the lotus flower. It's an ancient Egyptian culture. The lotus was a sacred symbol of creation, linked to the sun god Ra, emerging from the Nile's muddy waters. It bloomed at dawn, mirroring Ra's rebirth. Temples used lotus motifs in art, and priests offered its petals in rituals for renewal. Women wore lotus amulets for fertility, believing its scent carried divine blessings. Imagine an Egyptian priestess holding a lotus, its fragrance filling the air, feeling Ra's light in its petals. This belief made the lotus a bridge to eternity, shaping art, religion, and daily life. Farmers saw its bloom as a sign of abundant harvests, while poets sang of its beauty as life's triumph over chaos. The lotus was a reminder of resilience, rising pure from the depths. Don't we still marvel at a flower's bloom, sensing its quiet strength? The lotus of Ra blooms in our awe of nature's ability to renew and inspire. Belief 64. The divine voice in waterfalls. In ancient Shinto Japan, waterfalls were sacred, believed to be the voices of kami spirits, purifying and speaking divine truths. Pilgrims stood under cascading water in Mizagi rituals, cleansing body and soul to commune with the kami. Shrines near waterfalls, like those at Naki, drew worshippers seeking wisdom or healing. Imagine a Shinto monk under a freezing waterfall, its roar filling his ears, feeling the kami's power wash away his fears. This belief made waterfalls sacred sites where communities gathered to pray or meditate. Farmers offered rice to the kami, trusting the water's flow ensured fertile fields. The waterfall's voice was a divine song, guiding lives and rituals. Don't we still feel a waterfall's mist, its sound stirring peace in our souls? The kami's voice cascades in our love for nature's cleansing power, echoing ancient reverence. Belief 65. The sacredness of the raven's cry. In ancient Haida culture of the Pacific Northwest, the raven was a divine trickster, creator, and messenger of the spirit world. Its cry was a call from the gods, signaling change or warning. Shamans listened to its calls, interpreting them as omens for hunts or ceremonies. Totem poles carved with ravens honored its power, and families told stories of ravens stealing the sun to light the world. Imagine a Haida fisherman hearing a raven's cry, pausing to decipher its message, feeling the spirit world near. This belief made ravens sacred guides, their presence woven into daily life. Hunters offered fish to ravens, seeking their favor. The raven's cry was a divine voice, shaping decisions and stories. Don't we still startle at a raven's call, sensing its eerie wisdom? The Haida's raven echoes in our instinct to find meaning in nature's voices. Belief 66. The divine power of the equinox. In ancient Celtic culture, equinoxes were sacred moments when day and night balanced, blessed by the goddess Eostor. Druids held rituals at stone circles like Stonehenge, believing the equinox aligned Earth with the cosmos. Farmers offered ale or bread, praying for bountiful harvests, while warriors sought balance in their lives. Imagine a Celtic chieftain standing at dawn, the equinox sun rising perfectly between stones, filling Eostor's harmony. This belief shaped seasonal festivals, marking life cycles with fire and song. Communities gathered to celebrate, seeing the equinox as a divine pause, a moment of unity. The balance of light and dark was a cosmic gift, guiding spiritual and practical life. Don't we still mark spring or fall with awe, feeling time's shift? Castor's equinox lingers in our sense of balance in nature's rhythms. Belief 67. The sacredness of the spider's web. In ancient Hopi culture, the spider was Spider-Woman, a creator goddess who wove the world's fabric with her webs. Her intricate designs were sacred, symbolizing life's interconnectedness. Weavers honored her in their patterns, believing each thread carried her wisdom. Families taught children to respect spiders, seeing their webs as prayers to the divine. Imagine a Hopi elder watching a spider spin, its delicate web glinting in the sun, feeling Spider-Woman's presence. This belief made webs sacred symbols, guiding art and spirituality. Villages held ceremonies to honor her, weaving baskets to mimic her designs. The web was a map of existence, linking all life. Don't we still pause at a spider's web, marveling at its fragile beauty? Spider-Woman's webs spin in our awe of nature's intricate connections. Belief 68. The divine power of the solstice. In ancient Norse culture, the solstices were sacred, marked by the god Baldur's light at summer and his descent at winter. Vikings held feasts at Yule and Midsummer, offering meat to honor the sun's turning points. Shamans saw solstices as portals to divine wisdom when gods were closest. Imagine a Norse family gathered around a bonfire. The winter solstice's faint sun rising, feeling Baldur's promise of light's return. This belief shaped their calendar, with the solstices framing life's cycles. Farmers planting by the sun's arc, trusting its divine rhythm. The solstice was a cosmic hinge, swinging between light and dark. Don't we still celebrate the solstice, feeling its shift in our bones? Baldur's light burns in our love for moments when time turns. Belief. 69. The sacredness of the owl's gaze. In ancient Athenian culture, the owl was sacred to Athena, goddess of wisdom, its gaze a divine insight. Owls were believed to see truths hidden in darkness, guiding the wise. Temples kept owl statues, and citizens carried owl amulets for clarity. Imagine an Athenian philosopher under moonlight, an owl's eyes gleaming, feeling Athena's wisdom in its stare. This belief made owls divine messengers, shaping philosophy and art. Owls adorned coins, symbolizing Athens' wisdom. Mothers told children owls brought Athena's protection, easing fears of the night. The owl's gaze was a beacon of truth, guiding thought and action. Don't we still feel an owl stare? Its mystery stirring our minds. Athena's owl watches in our quest for clarity in the dark. Belief 70. The divine power of the threshold. In ancient Roman culture, thresholds were sacred, guarded by Janus, the two-faced god of beginnings and endings. Crossing a threshold, home, temple, or city gate was a spiritual act requiring prayers or offerings to Janus for safe passage. Brides were carried over thresholds to ensure his blessing. Imagine a Roman soldier pausing at a gate, touching the stone, whispering to Janus for victory. This belief made thresholds sacred boundaries where human and divine met. Families marked doorways with laurel, believing Janus protected their homes. The threshold was a moment of transition, charged with divine potential. Don't we still pause at a doorway, feeling a shift in entering a new space? Janus' threshold guards our moments of change. An ancient rite of passage. Belief 71. The sacredness of the olive tree. In ancient Greek culture, the olive tree was a divine gift from Athena, goddess of wisdom, symbolizing peace and prosperity. Legend held that she planted the first olive on the Acropolis, blessing Athens with its fruit. Farmers tended groves with reverence, offering oil to Athena's temples for fertile harvests. Olive branches were crowns for victors, their leaves a sign of divine favor. Imagine a Greek farmer pruning an olive tree, its gnarled branches heavy with fruit, feeling Athena's wisdom in each leaf. This belief made olive groves sacred, shaping trade and rituals. Festivals celebrated the harvest, with communities pressing oil together, singing hymns to the goddess. The olive wasn't just food, it was a covenant with the divine. Its oil, lighting lamps in homes and temples. Poets wove its branches into tales of harmony, tying human life to the land. Don't we still cherish olive oil's warmth, its taste evoking ancient groves? Athena's olive tree roots, our love for nature's enduring gifts, a symbol of peace across time. Belief 72. The divine power of the eclipse. In ancient Mesopotamian culture, a solar eclipse was a divine omen, signaling the god's anger or a shift in fate. Priests believed the sun god Shamash was veiled by divine will, prompting rituals to appease him. Temples burned cedar incense, and kings performed substitute rituals, fearing eclipses foretold their death. Imagine a Mesopotamian scribe watching the sun darken, heart pounding as priests chant to restore Shamash's light. This belief shaped governance, with rulers consulting astrologers before decisions. Communities halted work during eclipses, gathering to pray, believing their voices could sway the gods. The eclipse was a cosmic pause, a moment when heaven and earth aligned in warning. Farmers saw it as a sign to protect crops, offering barley to Shamash. Don't we still feel unease? During an eclipse, its shadow stirring ancient fears. Shamash's veil lingers in our awe of the cosmos' dramatic shifts. A reminder of divine power. Belief 73. The sacredness of the bamboo. In ancient Chinese culture, bamboo was a sacred symbol of resilience, blessed by the goddess Guanyin, who embodied compassion. Its ability to bend without breaking was seen as divine strength, guiding human virtue. Scholars planted bamboo around homes, believing its rustling leaves carried Guanyin's wisdom. Artisans crafted flutes from its stalks, their notes a prayer to her mercy. Imagine a Chinese poet under a bamboo grove, its swaying stalks whispering. Guanyins.com, inspiring his verses. This belief made bamboo a spiritual emblem, shaping art, gardens, and philosophy. Farmers used it for tools, trusting its strength was divine. Temples grew bamboo to honor Guanyin, its green tips a reminder of her presence. The plant's flexibility taught balance, reflecting life's flow. Don't we still admire bamboo's grace, its strength soothing our souls? Guanyin's bamboo sways in our love for nature's quiet lessons. Belief 74. The divine voice in the winds howl. In ancient Navajo culture, the wind's howl was the voice of the holy wind, a divine force carrying life and guidance. It was believed to enter newborns at their first breath, shaping their destiny. Shamans listened to its gusts, interpreting messages for healing or warnings. Hogans were built with doors facing east to welcome the wind's wisdom. Imagine a Navajo elder standing on a mesa, the wind's howl filling her ears, feeling the holy wind spirit guide her path. This belief made the wind a sacred companion, shaping rituals and daily life. Herders followed its direction for safe travels, while weavers saw its patterns in their rugs. The wind's voice was a divine thread, weaving through existence. Don't we still feel the wind's touch, its rush stirring something deep? The holy wind's howl echoes in our sense of nature's unseen guidance. Belief 75. The sacredness of the hummingbird. In ancient Aztec culture, the hummingbird was sacred to Huitzilopochtli, the war and sun god, its iridescent wings, a symbol of vitality and divine energy. Warriors wore hummingbird feathers, believing they carried the god's strength into battle. Priests saw their rapid flight as a dance of creation, offering nectar to honor them. Imagine an Aztec warrior watching a hummingbird dart, its wings a blur, feeling Huitzilopochtli's power in his heart. This belief made hummingbirds divine messengers, shaping art and warfare. Temples carved their likeness, and mothers told children they brought joy from the gods. The hummingbird's energy was a spark of the divine, linking human and celestial realms. Don't we still marvel at a hummingbird's grace, its vibrance lifting our spirits? Huitzilopochtli's bird hums in our awe of life's fleeting beauty. Belief 76. The divine power of the solstice shadow. In ancient Indian culture, the solstice shadow was a divine message from Inti, the sun god, guiding the Incas' sacred calendar. Temples, like the Coricancha, had markers to track shadows, with priests reading their angles to time rituals. The June solstice, Inti Raymi, saw thousands offer gold to ensure the sun's return. Imagine an Inca priest watching a shadow shorten, its edge sharp on stone, feeling Inti's presence. This belief shaped agriculture and festivals, with fields planted by shadow patterns. Communities danced at solstices, believing their joy strengthened Inti. The shadow was a divine clock, ticking, with cosmic purpose. Don't we still notice shadows shift at year's end, feeling time's turn? Inti solstice shadow stretches in our sense of season's sacred rhythm. Belief 77. The sacredness of the willow tree. In ancient Sumerian culture, the willow was sacred to Inanna, goddess of love and war, its drooping branches a symbol of her grace and power. Temples planted willows by rivers, believing their shade sheltered Inanna's spirit. Healers used willow bark for pain, seeing it as her healing touch. Imagine a Sumerian mother weaving willow branches into a cradle, praying for Inanna's protection over her child. This belief made willows sacred groves where lovers met and priests prayed. Farmers saw their sway as Inanna's dance, ensuring fertile fields. The willow's flexibility was divine, teaching resilience. Don't we still feel peace under willow's canopy, its branches soothing? Inanna's willow bends in our love for nature's gentle embrace. Belief 78. The divine power of the first rain. In ancient Vedic India, the first rain of the monsoon was Varuna's gift, the god of cosmic order and water. Its drops were sacred, purifying the land and souls. Farmers offered rice to Varuna, believing the rain ensured abundant harvests. Temples held rituals at monsoon start, with chants echoing as rain fell. Imagine a Vedic farmer standing in the first downpour, its cool drops on his face, feeling Varuna's blessing. Its belief shaped agriculture and spirituality, with rains marking a divine renewal. Villages celebrated, seeing each drop as a promise of life. The first rain was a sacred event, washing away chaos. Don't we still rejoice at rain's first touch, its freshness renewing us? Varuna's rain falls in our love for water's cleansing power. Belief 79. The sacredness of the turtle shell. In ancient Chinese culture, the turtle shell was a divine oracle. Its patterns, a map of the cosmos, blessed by the god Xuanwu. Diviners heated shells to read cracks, believing they revealed the god's will for wars or harvests. Emperors kept turtle shells in palaces, trusting their wisdom. Imagine a Chinese diviner tracing a shell's lines, firelight flickering, seeking answers in its cracks. This belief made turtles sacred, their shells a bridge to the divine. Farmers honored them, seeing their slow steps as cosmic balance. The shell's patterns were divine script, guiding life's choices. Don't we still admire a turtle's shell? Its design timeless. Xuanwu's turtle carries our fascination with nature's ancient wisdom. Belief 80. The divine power of the mountain peak. In ancient Tibetan culture, mountain peaks were abodes of gods, sacred to deities like Chamalangma, the goddess of Everest. Keen's circumambulated peaks, offering prayer flags to seek blessings for health or safe journeys. Monks meditated at their bases, believing the peaks channeled divine energy. Imagine a Tibetan herder tying a flag to a rocky outcrop, wind carrying his prayers to Chamalangma. This belief made mountains spiritual centers, shaping pilgrimages and art. Villages aligned homes with peaks, trusting their protection. The peak was a divine ladder linking earth to heaven. Don't we still feel awe climbing a mountain, its summit sacred? Chamalangma's peaks rise in our reverence for nature's towering spirit. Belief 81. The sacredness of the cedar tree. In ancient Phoenician culture, the cedar tree was sacred to the goddess Astarte, symbolizing eternal life and divine protection. Its towering branches were believed to house her spirit, and temples in Byblos used cedar wood for altars. Its resin, burned as incense to honor her. Shipbuilders crafted vessels from cedar, trusting Astarte guided their voyages. Imagine a Phoenician sailor touching a cedar mast, its scent filling the air. Feeling her presence steered the ship. This belief made cedar groves sacred, where priests prayed for fertility or safe travels. Merchants traded cedar across the Mediterranean, seeing it as a divine gift. The tree's strength was a covenant with Astarte, its wood shaping homes and shrines. Families told stories of her love beneath cedars, tying human hearts to the divine. Don't we still marvel at a cedar's majesty, its fragrance evoking timeless forests. Astartes cedar stands in our awe of trees that endure, whispering ancient blessings. Belief 82. The divine power of the new moon. In ancient Babylonian culture, the new moon was a sacred moment, blessed by the god Sin, marking renewal and divine favor. Temples held rituals at its first crescent, offering dates or wine to ensure prosperity. Priests watched its rise, believing it signaled Sin's judgment on the land. Imagine a Babylonian mother standing under the faint crescent, praying for her child's health, feeling Sin's light renew her hope. This belief shaped calendars and festivals, with markets pausing to honor the moon's rebirth. Farmers planted seeds by its waxing light, trusting Sin's cycle brought abundance. The new moon was a divine restart, a moment when the gods listened closely. Women especially revered it, tying their cycles to its rhythm. Don't we still feel a quiet thrill at the new moon sliver, its promise fresh? Sin's crescent glows in our sense of new beginnings under the night sky. Belief 83. The sacredness of the deer. In ancient Celtic culture, the deer was sacred to Cernunnos, the horned god of the wild, its grace a symbol of spiritual connection. Hunters honored deer with offerings of grain, believing their spirits carried prayers to the divine. Druids saw their antlers as branches linking earth and sky, guiding rituals in sacred groves. Imagine a Celtic hunter tracking a stag, its eyes meeting his, feeling Cernunnos' presence in its quiet strength. This belief made deer revered, their sightings omens of harmony or change. Villages carved antlers into tools, seeing them as divine gifts. The deer's fleeting beauty was a reminder of life's sacred balance, teaching respect for nature. Don't we still pause at a deer's glance, its stillness stirring our souls? Cernunnos' deer bounds in our reverence for wildlife's gentle wisdom. Belief 84. The divine voice in the ocean's roar. In ancient Polynesian culture, the ocean's roar was the voice of Tangaroa, god of the sea, speaking creation and power. Fishermen offered shells or fish to him, believing his waves guided their canoes or warned of storms. Villages built altars on shores, chanting to Tangaroa for safe voyages. Imagine a Polynesian navigator listening to crashing waves, heart steady, feeling Tangaroa's rhythm guide his path. This belief made the ocean a divine force, shaping navigation and myths. Children learned his stories, seeing his voice in every tide. The sea's roar was a sacred song, uniting communities with the cosmos. Don't we still stand by the ocean, its roar humbling us, stirring ancient awe? Tangaroa's voice surges in our love for the sea's untamed power. Belief 85. The sacredness of the labyrinth. In ancient Cretan culture, the labyrinth was a sacred path to the divine, linked to the Minotaur myth and the goddess Ariadne. Its winding ways were believed to mirror the soul's journey, leading to wisdom or rebirth. Pilgrims walked labyrinths in Knossos, offering thread or oil to Ariadne for guidance. Imagine a Cretan priestess tracing the maze, her steps deliberate, feeling the goddess lead her to truth. This belief made labyrinths spiritual tools used in rituals to confront fears or seek clarity. Communities built them in stone, seeing their twists as divine mysteries. The labyrinth was a dance with the divine, each turn a step toward enlightenment. Right? Don't we still trace patterns, seeking meaning in their complexity? Ariadne's labyrinth winds through our quest for inner truth. Belief 86. The divine power of the first snow. In ancient Norse culture, the first snow was a gift from Skadi, goddess of winter, blanketing the earth with her purity. Vikings offered ale or furs to her, believing the snow cleansed the land and prepared it for rebirth. Hunters saw its fall as a sign to prepare for hardship, trusting Skadi's embrace. Imagine a Norse child catching snowflakes, their chile kiss from Skadi, feeling her strength in the quiet. This belief shaped winter rituals, with feasts honoring her icy touch. Villages gathered around fires, telling tales of her hunts in snowy mountains. The first snow was a divine veil, transforming the world. Don't we still feel magic in the first snow's hush? Its beauty calming. Scatty snow falls in our love for winter's serene embrace. Belief 87. The sacredness of the falcon. In ancient Egyptian culture, the falcon was sacred to Horus, god of the sky. Its soaring flight, a symbol of divine vision. Temples kept falcons, mummifying them as offerings to Horus for protection. Warriors wore falcon amulets, believing his gaze guided them in battle. Imagine an Egyptian soldier watching a falcon circle, its wings cutting the sky, feeling Horus' strength in his heart. This belief made falcons divine messengers, shaping art and warfare. Farmers saw their flight as a sign of fertile seasons, praying to Horus for abundance. The falcon's keen eyes were a reminder of divine watchfulness, guiding lives. Don't we still admire a hawk soar, its grace stirring awe? Horus falcon flies in our fascination with the sky's swift guardians. Belief 88. The divine power of the full moon. In ancient Hindu culture, the full moon was sacred to Chandra, the moon god, illuminating truth and love. Temples held pujas, offering milk or rice, believing his light blessed marriages and harvests. Poets sang of Chandra's glow, tying it to human emotions. Imagine a Hindu bride under a full moon, her hands hennaed, feeling Chandra's blessings on her union. This belief shaped festivals like Diwali, with lamps mimicking his radiance. Farmers planted by his light, trusting his cycle ensured growth. The full moon was a divine mirror, reflecting life's beauty. Don't we still feel a pull under a full moon, its glow stirring dreams? Chandra's light shines in our love for night's radiant magic. Belief 89. The sacredness of the willow basket. In ancient Native American Cherokee culture, willow baskets were sacred, woven with prayers to the Corn Mother, goddess of sustenance. Each twist of willow was a ritual, believed to carry her blessings for abundance. Weavers chanted as they worked, seeing their baskets as vessels for divine gifts. Imagine a Cherokee elder weaving a basket, its pattern of prayer, feeling the Corn Mother's warmth in each strand. This belief made baskets sacred tools, used in harvests and ceremonies. Communities traded them, seeing their weave as a bond with the divine. The willow's flexibility was her spirit, teaching resilience. Don't we still cherish a handmade basket, its craft timeless? Corn Mother's weave holds our respect for nature's gifts. Belief 90. The divine power of the sunrise. In ancient Inca culture, the sunrise was Inti's daily rebirth, the sun god who warmed the earth and sustained life. Priests in Cusco's Coricancha greeted dawn with gold offerings, believing Inti's light blessed the empire. Farmers faced east, praying for strong crops. Imagine an Inca child watching the sunrise over the Andes, its glow a promise from Inti, filling her with hope. This belief shaped rituals like Inti Raymi, with the dances honoring his light. The sunrise was a divine renewal, tying human life to the cosmos. Don't we still feel joy at dawn's first light, its warmth uplifting? Inti's sunrise glows in our love for new beginnings each day. Belief 91. The sacredness of the pine tree. In ancient Norse culture, the pine tree was sacred to Frey, god of fertility and peace. Its evergreen needles, a symbol of eternal life. Vikings planted pines near homes, believing their branches sheltered Freyrs, blessings for bountiful harvests. Offerings of mead or barley were placed at their roots, seeking his favor against harsh winters. Imagine a Norse farmer touching a pine's rough bark. It sent sharp in the cold air, feeling Freyr's warmth in its green. This belief made pine groves sacred, where communities gathered for rituals, their boughs used in Yule celebrations. Warriors carved pine into shields, trusting its strength was divine. The pine's resilience was a reminder of life's endurance, tying human hopes to the divine. Poets sang of its steadfastness, weaving it into tales of survival. Don't we still decorate with evergreens, their scent evoking winter's magic? Freda's pine stands tall in our love for nature's enduring green, a whisper of ancient vitality. Belief 92. The divine power of the meteor. In ancient Greek culture, meteors were fiery arrows of Zeus, king of the gods, signaling his will or wrath. A streak across the sky was a divine message, prompting priests to interpret its meaning for battles or harvests. Temples offered wine to Zeus, believing meteors marked his presence. Imagine a Greek shepherd watching a meteor blaze, heart racing, feeling Zeus' gaze upon the land. This belief shaped oracles and decisions, with kings pausing wars at a meteor's fall. Farmers saw them as signs of divine favor, planting seeds after their light. The meteor's fleeting fire was a cosmic spark, linking Earth to the gods. The children learned its myths, seeing the sky as Zeus' canvas. Don't we still gasp at a shooting star, making a wish as if it carries divine power? Zeus' meteor streaked through our awe of the sky's sudden brilliance. Belief 93. The sacredness of the coral reef. In ancient Polynesian culture, coral reefs were sacred creations of Tangaroa, god of the sea, their vibrant forms a living tapestry of divine life. Fishermen offered fish to reefs, believing they housed Tangaroa's spirit, ensuring safe catches. Villages built shrines on shores, chanting to honor the coral's beauty. Imagine a Polynesian diver swimming among coral, its colors glowing, feeling Tangaroa's pulse in each branch. This belief made reefs sacred, guiding fishing and navigation. Communities protected them, seeing their health as a sign of divine favor. The reef's intricate life was a mirror of the cosmos, teaching harmony. Don't we still marvel at coral's vibrance, its fragility, stirring care? Tangaroa's reefs live in our reverence for the ocean's delicate wonders. Belief 94. The divine voice and the earthquake. In ancient Japanese Shinto culture, earthquakes were the stirrings of Namazu, a giant catfish beneath the earth, controlled by the god Kashima. Shrines offered sake to Kashima, believing his strength kept Namazu still. When the earth shook, priests saw it as a divine warning, urging repentance. Imagine a Shinto villager feeling the ground tremble, praying to Kashima, heart steady in the chaos. This belief shaped architecture, with flexible wooden temples built to withstand quakes. Communities held rituals after tremors, seeking balance with the gods. The earthquake was a divine voice, reminding humans of nature's power. Farmers rebuilt with Kashima's blessings, trusting his protection. Don't we still feel awe at the earth's rumble, its force humbling us? Namazu's stirrings echo in our respect for the planet's untamed strength. Belief 95. The sacredness of the butterfly. In ancient Aztec culture, butterflies were sacred. To Ixoaquetzal, goddess of beauty and love, their wings a symbol of transformation and divine joy. Priests saw their flight as souls reborn, offering flowers to honor them. Women wore butterfly pendants, believing they carried Exoquetzal's grace. Imagine an Aztec maiden watching a butterfly dance, its colors bright, feeling the goddess love in its wings. This belief made butterflies divine messengers, shaping art and rituals. Gardens were planted to attract them, seen as blessing. The butterfly's metamorphosis was a sacred cycle, teaching life's renewal. Don't we still smile at a butterfly's flutter, its beauty lifting our hearts? Ixoquetzal's butterflies dance in our love for nature's delicate transformations. Belief 96. The divine power of the midnight hour. In ancient Egyptian culture, midnight was a sacred threshold when the sun god Ra battled chaos in the underworld, ensuring dawn's return. Priests in temples like Luxor chanted at midnight, offering myrrh to strengthen Ra's fight. Families prayed, believing the hour connected them to the divine. Imagine an Egyptian scribe waking at midnight, whispering to Ra, feeling his struggle in the dark. This belief shaped night rituals, with temples lit to honor Ra's journey. The midnight hour was a cosmic battleground where human prayers aided the gods. Farmers saw it as a time to seek blessings for crops. Don't we still feel midnights? Quiet wait, its stillness profound. Ra's midnight lingers in our sense of the night's hidden power. Belief 97. The sacredness of the acacia tree. In ancient Egyptian culture, the acacia was sacred to Osiris, god of the afterlife. It's resilient, with a symbol of eternal life. Its tombs used acacia for coffins, believing it guided souls to the underworld. Priests burned its gum as incense, seeking Osiris's favor. Imagine an Egyptian mourner touching an acacia coffin, its grain warm, feeling Osiris' embrace. This belief made acacia groves sacred, where rituals honored the dead. Farmers planted them near fields, trusting their shade brought fertility. The acacia's strength was a divine promise, linking life and death. Don't we still admire a tree's resilience, its roots grounding us? Osiris acacia grows in our respect for nature's eternal cycle. Belief 98. The divine power of the morning dew. In ancient Celtic culture, morning dew was a gift from Danu, mother goddess. Its droplets, sacred for healing and prophecy. Druids collected dew at dawn, using it in rituals to cleanse or divine the future. Women bathed in it, believing it carried Danu's beauty. Imagine a Celtic healer gathering dew, its cool touch on her fingers, feeling Danu's blessing. This belief made dawn a sacred time, with fields seen as divine canvases. Communities gathered dew for ceremonies, trusting its purity. The dew was a divine kiss, renewing the earth. Don't we still feel joy in dew's sparkle, its freshness calming? Danu's dew glistens in our love for morning's gentle touch. Belief 99. The sacredness of the wolf. In ancient Roman culture, the wolf was sacred to Mars, god of war. Its howl, a symbol of divine strength and protection. The myth of Romulus and Remus, raised by a she-wolf, made wolves guardians of Rome. Soldiers wore wolf pelts, believing Mars' spirit guided them. Imagine a Roman legionary hearing a wolf's howl, its call stirring courage, feeling Mars' presence. This belief shaped festivals like Lupercalia, with wolf rituals for fertility and victory. Farmers honored wolves, seeing them as protectors of the wild. The wolf's strength was divine, teaching loyalty. Don't we still respect a wolf's wildness, its howl haunting? Mars' wolf prowls in our awe of nature's fierce spirit. Belief 100. The divine power of the vernal equinox. In ancient Persian culture, the vernal equinox was sacred to Mithra, god of light, marking renewal and cosmic balance. Temples held Nowruz festivals, with fires lit to honor Mithra's triumph over darkness. Families cleaned homes, believing the equinox purified their lives. Imagine a Persian poet watching the equinox sunrise, its light, warm, filling Mithra's hope. This belief shaped calendars, with Nowruz uniting communities in joy. Farmers planted at its dawn, trusting Mithra's light. The equinox was a divine turning point, balancing light and life. Don't we still celebrate spring's arrival? Its warmth, uplifting. Mithra's equinox shines in our love for new seasons and new beginnings.